Welcome to the Awesomers.com podcast. If you love to learn, and if you're motivated to expand your mind, and heck, if you desire to break through those traditional paradigms and find your own version of success, you are in the right place. Awesomers around the world are on a journey to improve their lives and the lives of those around them. We believe in paying it forward, and we fundamentally try to live up to the great Zig Ziglar quote, where he said, "You can have everything in your life you want if you help enough other people get what they want." It doesn't matter where you came from, it only matters where you're going. My name is Steve Simonson, and I hope you will join me on this awesomer journey.
If you're launching a new product manufactured in China, you will need professional, high-resolution, Amazon-ready photographs. Because Simo Global has a team of professionals in China, you will oftentimes receive your listings photographs before your product even leaves the country. This streamlined process will save you the time, money, and energy needed to concentrate on marketing and other creative content strategies before your item is in stock and ready for sale. Visit simoglobal.com to learn more, because a picture should be worth 1,000 keywords.
Welcome, Awesomers, to the podcast episode number 32. And as always, you can go to awesomers.com/32. That's awesomers.com/32 to see the show notes and the details related to this particular episode. This episode, it's been a while, but it's the book of the week. And we're going to talk about one of my favorite books. And this one's going to be a relatively short one, where I'm just going to talk through one of my favorite books called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. And this is written by Kamal Ravikant, who is a brilliant, brilliant writer, but also a brilliant human being and a venture capitalist in real life. And I want to just start out by saying that this is a very quick and easy read, so I didn't want to spend more time explaining why you should read the book than it would take you to actually read it yourself. But I want to just share a few words about why it's important to me and why I think it should be important to you. So first of all, I'm going to read the back cover to you because I want to give you a sense of where this book is coming from. And even though this may not feel entrepreneurial, a lot of the folks out there that I interface with, we're in the business world, we're entrepreneurs, whatever. But remember, the Awesomers are creatives of all kinds. And so it doesn't matter if you're an artist or you're making a company or any variation. There's billions and billions of variations of being awesomer. So it doesn't matter where you're coming from. I still think it's an important thing in terms of maintaining a level of happiness, and also remembering that we're all susceptible to the doldrums and even depression. And I think entrepreneurs are particularly susceptible to depression when momentum goes against us. And so this book, as simple as it may sound, to love yourself, that's the theme. Spoiler alert, it is in fact called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. But that theme is something that is not often discussed. And so this is a really important point that I hope you guys take home. So I'm going to start with the back cover and read the quotation. And this says, one of the most important books I've read this year, and that's James Altucher, which is a very famous fellow, and you'll see him online if you haven't already, a great speaker, author, and a great thinker in general. And James, I think, lent his name to this because he really does, appreciate the fact that Kamal had the courage, really, to write a book that it's so simple yet extraordinarily powerful. And I'm going to read the back cover, and this is from, I don't know who actually wrote this. Let's find out. In December of 2011, I gave a talk to an audience of scientists, Pentagon officials, politicians, and CEOs on a secret of life and how I figured it out on the previous summer. So now this is an aside. This is definitely Kamal talking. Afterwards, people came up individually and told me how much what I'd shared meant to them. This book is based on the truth I spoke about. It's something I learned from within myself, something I believe saved me, and more than that, the way I set about to do it. This is a collection of thoughts of what I've learned, what worked, what didn't, where I succeeded, and more importantly, where I failed daily. I like that, fail daily, just keep it moving. The truth is to love yourself with the same intensity you would use to pull yourself up if you are hanging off a cliff with your fingers. What a great visualization, right? And how many of us really are committed to loving ourselves with that level of strength, holding on from a cliff with just your fingers? He goes on to say, as if your life depended on it, right? If you're hanging over that cliff with your fingers, your life does depend on it. Once you get going, it's not hard to do, just takes commitment, and I'll share how I did it. It's been transformative for me, and I know it will be transformative for you as well. So that's written from Kamal Ravikant, the author, and it really is an important work to just take the simplest things and add them to your life. They really can make a difference. And if you are skeptical about this, you just read the book and do what he says, and then you can write him a note and tell him how great he is. So one of the things that I love about this, and you'll find this in a lot of different books and a lot of discussions where people talk about meditating. Well, I'm a simple guy. I know I can Google how to meditate, but it always just kind of seemed like I don't know how to meditate. Nobody ever taught me how to meditate. There's no class I ever took that said, here's how you meditate. But inside the book, Kamal shares a couple different meditation methods that he used. And they're so simple. They're so simple I feel a little ashamed that I didn't think of it myself. But the fact that he just kind of gives you a couple of those little tips and then really goes into the details of why it's important to love yourself, his methodology for implementing that and making it part of your mentality day to day, I think it's really, really important. It's a very easy process. Grab the book. We'll have it in our show notes page, awesomers.com/32. We will also have the chance to talk to Kamal in the future. I'm sure that he'll come on the podcast and we'll talk about not just this book, but a couple of his other books as well. So this book, Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. It's a great, simple read, and you'll feel tremendous if you follow the advice within the book. So that's it for this episode, everybody. I know it's a short and to the point one, but as I said, I'd rather you just take a few more clicks, get out there and read the book. The book should take you, no more than an hour, probably a little less to read, and then start implementing what it talks about. As always, if you want to check out the show notes, go to awesomers.com/32 for any details about this episode. And we appreciate you listening and hope that you're subscribing, sharing, and all the normal things that listeners do. Thank you again. Well, we've done it again, everybody. We have another episode of the Awesomers podcast ready for the world. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you've enjoyed our program today. Now's a good time to take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this podcast. Heck, you could even leave a review if you wanted. Awesomers around you will appreciate your help. It's only with your participation and sharing that we'll be able to achieve our goals. Our success is literally in your hands. Thank you again for joining us. We are at your service. Find out more about me, Steve Simonson, our guests, team, and all the other Awesomers involved at awesomers.com. Thank you again.